Hello, it's Tamara Hunter, and today is day number 255 of 365 days of awesome. Celebrate success through service. And I have as my special guest one of our service heroes and one of my dear, dear friends, Teresa Snider. Welcome, Teresa.
Hello. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited to be here.
So, let me ask you this. Okay, I made reference to it, and I know we just went live without putting a notification up too far in advance. So, if I would love to hear hashtag live or a hashtag replay when you guys do watch this. But do you smell coffee, Teresa?
Um, mm,
Mm.
I do.
You do. Do you like coffee, Teresa?
I love coffee.
Okay, well, because I wanted to ask, because you and I have been talking about how when you have a cause, how you have a movement, how you are out there, sometimes you're reinventing things. Oh, and we have one of our dear friends with us right now, Carol.
Oh,
Uh,
awesome.
Welcome. Love it. Love it that you're here with us. You're amazing, Carol. Thank you for all you do for both of us. And thank you for the live, hashtag live. And yes, yes. I'm
Right.
so excited you're here. Okay, we're going to have some fun. This is going to be a fun live. Not that they're not usually, but this is a Service Hero fun show. Okay, so I was talking to you about chemo buddies and coming up with an idea, and I've been putting it out there with some of the ambassadors, of which, alert guys, Teresa Snider has agreed to become one of Chemo Buddies ambassadors. Thank you. Woo, 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 woo. Yay! Because for anybody that is not aware of what Chemo Buddies for Life is all about, we are healing through connections within a buddies network. We support those people that are affected by cancer. And it's a big deal. We try to make light of it and have some fun, and that's what this is all about. This is what we're going to be talking about. And yes, yeah, I love it. Woohoo! And Carol is actually has joined us as one of our ambassadors also. Thank you, Carol. And we are just having such an amazing group of people that are coming together, and that's where we're going to be going with all of this. So we were talking about chemo buddies, service heroes, the next impactor, going to some of the things around here. We just went to the Powerful You event, and how sometimes as you're getting your message put together and you're working on your community and you want to make sure you're being effective in a variety of different ways. One of them was that Chemo Buddies for Life, over a period of time, have been trying to figure out something that was going to resonate with the group. And we were talking this morning and we came up with something. So, should we unveil it? Let me do this. Okay, let me hide these for a minute. Okay, 1, 2, 3, let's go. So guys, we are going to start having a coffee club for Chemo Buddies for Life and a show. And yes, and oh yes, you love it. I'm glad. And we're gonna make it fun. This is all about fun and stories. And in fact, I want to make sure that I did one thing that I said I was going to do. So, Teresa, why don't you tell everybody about what it is that you think about this? And when we got these, yes, I did. Okay, cool. When we were playing with these mugs today, what was in your mind?
Oh my gosh. Well, a lot of things were in my mind. One, I could wear it as a hat. Like literally.
Yeah.
Okay, the other thing is I was thinking about if you've ever been constipated, this cup is going to help.
Oh, oh,
Humor.
poop humor. Okay, that's you know what? I have another cup. I gotta share. Okay, guys, we're gonna make some fun stuff going on here. Well, not sure if I can get that little bit of coffee. You're not sure, Tim? Huh? We gotta talk about that then. Such a little amount of coffee. I know. We're challenging everybody with this. Okay, so all right. Coffee makes me, yes, poop, humor. Those people that have been affected by cancer, or any kind of like life changing health event, and you've been put on different kinds of medication and stuff, you're going to understand this one. But look at this. There's a surprise in the cup.
Oh my goodness. She didn't show me that. And you guys, you've got to know that I'm here in Tamara's home. I'm a guest in her home. Like I'm at the Airbnb and I'm just now seeing the whole side of that cup. And I'm like, holy camole. Okay, this is my cup.
Okay, let me move out a bit so we can see it. Okay, we're okay, bring it closer to the camera. Okay, let's see. What does it say?
I can't pretend to like you this early in the morning.
Look at that. Okay, here, put it closer because I had the comment. Okay, let's get it closer to the camera. Okay. Oh, and then show the cat's face.
That cat is hilarious.
Oh, that is great. So we have, okay, so let's see. We have the poop cup for the poop humor. Oh yes, okay, yeah, let's do this right. Okay. All right, here, let me move this back. Okay, yes, guys, we're having a little bit of fun because there is a message to all of this. But life is just a little too short sometimes to not have some fun. And that's exactly what this little message is about today. And we're going somewhere, so bear with us. Hello, beautiful friend of ours and contestant also extraordinaire, Jody. Just absolutely adore you. And service hero with going out there and making a difference for those people that have been affected by sex trafficking, and let's get that all done. Let's be done with all of that.
And a
shout
love
out
your
to
message. Jody, she and I happen to be, I'm going to put my cup down, it's so heavy. She happens to be on my team, on Team Cheryl. She's done a lot of work today, so shout out to Jody.
Shout out to Jody. Shout out to everybody on the next Impactor, because we really do believe that it's just an amazing program. We've been talking about it a lot, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
And the thing that the take home that I have had, and we've been talking about take homes and everything. Okay. Real quick, Carol's, that cup is for me in the morning. Which one? I think I may know, but we got to
do a doctor's visit, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, and she wants one of each, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, we're going to be talking about that here in a second, about different cups. So, all right, with the next Impactor, for those of you that are not aware of what it is, we go over it. Oh, Timothy, you're a rock star too. Good to have you here, Timothy. Thank you for stopping by and having some fun with us today. We're kind of like cutting loose and doing a little bit of fun, because with a moral to the story here, and we're going to get there. The next Impactor is right now we're what was over 100 people have been now brought to a field of 50, 5 different teams, and we are crafting ourselves to be impactors in the world for whatever it is that our message is. And we have 5 different teams that have 5 different nonprofits that we are supporting and out there really learning how to support nonprofits. You may think that how, or you may think because you're actually running one. However, when you start bringing yourself to that next level, it really starts to open your eyes to the possibilities. Wouldn't you say, Teresa?
Oh, 100%. 100%. And I would think one of the biggest questions I get is, how is it that you guys are all competing against each other and yet you're all helping one another? And the fact that we're helping each other even with each other's challenge or nonprofit.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, that's just your nonprofit we brainstormed about, and then you've helped brainstorm about my challenge. And it's going to get interesting because you and I happen to be, when it comes to the challenge week for us, you and I on two different teams will be on the same week. So we
Yeah,
are
we're
number.
both number nine. Number nine, which, which
Anyway, I know that's a long way of saying yes, we support each other, and yes, we're learning about service, we're learning about fundraising, we're learning about supporting a variety of nonprofits, a variety of people, because at the end of the day, I say if you can become service centered, it
Mhm.
makes you less self-centered.
Absolutely. Well said. And that really sums up what we are talking about, even with these cups and making it fun, which, guys, I know that these are other people's cups. However, Chemo Buddies for Life, which this is going to be Coffee Club, Chemo Buddies for Life Coffee Club is what we are announcing, and that we will start running here soon. And we will start letting you guys know when the first coffee club meeting will be and where we will be going live with it. And did you know? And you didn't know this until just recently, right? That Chemo Buddies for Life has a store.
I didn't know that. I did
Yes,
not know that. And then I was like, wow, I can get some bling merchandise or, Chemo Buddies labeled things to have out there. And what people also don't know is you and I are on the road together a lot, and it'd be fun to have labeled like we're going to Vegas.
right,
So,
right.
just you have a store. I did not know that.
Yes, we have a store. Chemo Buddies for Life has a store. And I will start because, we weren't doing a lot with it recently. We were there for a while, and then it was like, well, maybe we should be shutting it down. And with this coffee club, what we are going to do, because one of the things, it is an on demand store, and they're all original designs to Chemo Buddies, and they're kind of fun. So I'll put a link in here. And we haven't shown, and I'm going to actually be loading some more images in that we have, some newer ones, and we have coffee mugs that we can, that people can buy and order. So what we will start doing is we'll have a coffee mug image of the month that will be for the cost. It will be discounted, and probably that whole line will be on sale that month. And these items within the store, they're all fundraising items for Chemo Buddies for Life. All proceeds go directly to the nonprofit. They don't go anywhere else. And so it's a great way to support a nonprofit and to be able to get some kind of humor, hope, and heart kind of images that are unique and different for those people that are affected by cancer. So we are going to start. That's what's going to take a little time. We're going to ramp up for those people that want to have their coffee mug ready to go, and we will actually be putting out within the club where people can even come into the digital studio and visit and have some fun, because you got to have fun in life, right?
100%. And tomorrow we've already been talking about what we're going to do for Wild Wild West in our hats. And I just think you and I together, we bring a level of professionalism and focus and all those things that are needed. I mean, I'm working on the road with you and working remotely, Life by Design, and we're having fun.
Right, right. And I want to really dive into that, and that's where we're going next. In that, okay, we decided, and Chemo Buddies for Life is going to be having the coffee club, and I want to give a hats off to um, Sharon Nichols Ward, because Sharon Nichols Ward was my senior ambassador for over a year here at Chemo Buddies for Life. She really helped Chemo Buddies for Life to become as global as it is right now. And many people, Carol in particular, even, they had coffee. I had coffee. She loved coffee. Yes.
Yeah.
And we had coffee with Sharon. And so Sharon and I had been talking about this not long before she actually passed away, that we needed to have a coffee club.
Talk about a legacy.
Yes. Yes.
Literally, like such a real living legacy
Mhm.
that she has touched all of us in so many ways.
Absolutely. She'll never be forgotten. And we're not going to let it happen. We have actually some things planned for the future that, yes, yes. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, she was your coffee buddy.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that Carol and I actually connected in the very beginning is she came to me because she had missed her coffee buddy and was asking about her, because all of a sudden she wasn't there, and I had to share with her what had happened. And little did I know, then you started working with her and she started volunteering with you, and then she comes full circle. And you know what? This is what's been happening, guys. This is what is incredible. You're going to be seeing a lot of growth taking place quickly with Chemo Buddies for Life. Right, Teresa? You've been around here as I've been on the phone nonstop over the since we connected again this trip, and the energy, isn't it becoming like
Oh,
almost
God, yes. Well, it's contagious, and there's a lot of things that are opening up and doors, and I just really like Tamara. I want to acknowledge you for the effort, the work, and the people that you connect with, the people that you bring into your world, and just how you are. That is your genius.
oh, thank you.
You really is, and yes, Sharon, and yes, all these people that have been touched by you personally, and then you see that that legacy lives on by who you are, and then now Carol's helping me with my show, but it's like she's now offered to help you, and that's
Right,
she's an ambassador, and that's what all this is about, is bringing, I think, like-hearted people.
right.
People talk about like-minded, I'm talking about like-hearted, like soul, and that's what you represent, Tamara.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I know that Sharon does, because she and I bring her up a lot, guys, because when she came into Chemo Buddies for Life, yes, Chemo Buddies for Life had already been become a nonprofit. We had already registered in the state of California. We had already become a national nonprofit. However, we didn't have the growth that we have now. We were very, very small, and that's how it starts. And then she joined, and then over a period of time, she engaged, she became an ambassador, and then she became a senior ambassador. And we've told this story before, I won't go into it. However, her role through it was such that the doctors, this is what's important, and this is the thing I do share a lot, and people need to understand this, is that this program, Chemo Buddies for Life, has social proof that it is so incredible and it's so simple.
Mhm.
The concept that you should have a buddy, that you should have a friend, that you should have humor, hope, and heart, and you should be a part of a community that cares. It seems simple, yet it's not always easy to find.
Exactly.
And
There's a
when
lot of people that are dealing with a lot of things. And when you talk about cancer in particular, they really, it's so beautiful. And just like you said, I mean, even the medical community, they now have evidence and there's evidence-based, just that shows that when people connect, it's represented with those patients that have this struggle and they have someone to talk to. And then your concept, it actually goes into other areas for other people that are suffering. And they're like, wow, look what they're doing with people that are dealing with a life altering condition. And then what about the people that are home alone? Or what about the people that have been through something they don't know how and want specifically to share? But when they find a buddy or a friend, I always say get in communication with a safe person that can be empathetic. And you've done that. The Chemo Buddies for Life has done that.
Yes, and what is exciting is that is why we came live with these fun cups, because you know, when you think about, you know, visiting with a friend, and I mean, let's just be real, there's a lot of companies out there that have made a lot of money on this concept, that you know, you create a place where you can go get a cup of joe and you can sit in some nice comfy chairs, and they have Wi-Fi, and you can visit and do, you know, have some cool music and everything. That becomes like a comfort kind of a situation. People think of, oh yeah, I want to go and visit with my friend. And a lot of times people will be like, hey, you know, what you doing? Let's meet up, and you know, and that kind of a thing. Well, when you're dealing with something that your immune cycles are, your immunities are, you can't go out there in public, and yet you want to have that association. And you know that I just took some classes in NLP and timeline therapy and all that neat stuff, and I'm learning about the subconscious brain and the unconscious brain and the conscious brain and everything. And are you guys aware of the fact that when you see something digital versus in person, sometimes that memory, it's not remembered. Was it digital or was it in person? And what is genius about having a friend, that if you can't get out there, you can have that friend, and your brain is not going to be saying, oh, you know, I'm in isolation and I'm feeling isolated. No, I know. And that's what the model is, because I am one of the original Chemo Buddies. And that's why I'm a co-founder. It's because my original Chemo Buddy and I went about, I had no voice. We used digital medium and it worked. Our doctors noticed something, and that's the model for what we're doing. So the coffee club, I love it. We are going to start, we'll pick an image. We might even do some kind of what do you think, and have a vote for the first image, and then put that on sale so people can join us and have their coffee mug, and you'll be supporting. Go and shop, because you know, we're going to give you the coffee mug at a really good discount, but go shop, because you know, anytime you purchase, truly all proceeds go directly to Chemo Buddies. We don't take any percentage at all for administrative fees or anything. It's only the cost of the item and having it online. Other than that, everything goes to Chemo Buddies. So it will truly be making a difference. So now, with that said, we were talking about live in the moment. I love it. Yes, live in the moment, you know, and that's very multifaceted there right now. I'm thinking of the layer of the onion, Carol. You just got me going there. You know, it's like, okay, shiny squirrel syndrome.
I know, right? Call it the sexy shiny squirrel, and we go, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we are living. We're proof. We're living in the moment right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is a real conversation, and I'm even just upstairs in my makeshift office that I love.
Yeah. I mean, you are actually at my desk. I mean, there's my desk, and
I love it.
and so and then I'm downstairs in the studio. So so that way we didn't have to be scrunched together with our
No,
big cups. I was thinking, like, we could probably like that would have been, so
Well,
that's why
here's the
we,
beautiful thing is people get to see that we work remotely, or I get to work remotely. We're going to be on the road again. Life can work. You
yes.
can have chemo buddies. You can have partners. You can have life work. It doesn't have to be as big of a struggle sometimes as we make it. So,
And that is a great segue into where I want to go next in this conversation, and that is, yes, we will post it later. In fact, the images we will be posting here, and we'll take some votes and see which ones people want to go for the first coffee club image. We will be on the road again, you and I, and we're going to be going to Vegas. And thank you for supporting me, because I'm so excited. I'm up for my first award as the unsung hero, Mark Rowe of Soul Central magazine. He himself, the founder, nominated me for this award, and it's being held in Vegas. So we're going to do a road trip. And we were talking about some crazy stuff, and you were bringing up, and we've been having fun. We went last night. If anybody hasn't been looking at both of our pages, we went last night to the wind down over for Monty Stewart's birthday, and then we went to another friend's birthday party at Smooth Jazz Situation on Sunday after we were at the Powerful You. Thank you very much, Carol. I appreciate that. And thank you very much, Scott.
this
I
is the
appreciate
moment, Tamara,
you.
that I really want people to get that you're being awarded
Not
this
awarded,
week,
I've been nominated.
nominated. And it
Yes.
is even just the nomination
Yeah.
is like really kudos to you. And we all should be like throwing confetti and like wow and oh my gosh, and it's kind of cool because I get to go as your date and film and
Yes.
help
Yes.
out and be in a service role too, because I want you to be honored no matter what the turnout is per se of the outcome of the award. You're nominated. You're a hero already in my world.
Well, and thank you. And I have to say thank you to Mark Rowe of Soul Central Magazine. You guys need to check it out, because it's not an obvious situation that I would be chosen to be even considered for an award. This is a magazine that is global, and they do a lot of support, a lot within the music industry, the entertainment industry, really cool stuff. And yet he really, truly appreciates Chemo Buddies for Life and the Service Heroes, and so he nominated me, and I have to say I'm humbled by it and grateful for it. So thank you for acknowledging that. I do appreciate it. So when we were talking about going to Vegas, you were saying some really cool things, and I was like, okay, let's start looking at that, because you were saying, okay, how about putting a GoPro on my head and going up in the stratosphere and filming and everything. And I thought, I have been watching you at some of these events we've been going to, like at the wind down last night, and even the event before on even actually the whole weekend. How you go up to these entertainers, and I even said, you go past what the little imaginary little stages, and I'm like, I stay behind the stage, because like I was trained that you don't break that thing, and I'm like, you go there, and you just all out for that. And what were you sharing with me? I love it.
Well, I was sharing, I think that for me, instinctively, and being someone that has been in musicals and been in productions and have a love for entertaining, like I enjoy seeing the audience and the reaction of the audience. So I instinctively look at whoever's performing and I wonder how close I can get that makes them really feel like, man, I'm being like noticed or appreciated, or this girl's willing to have fun, this girl's willing to show off the keyboard of somebody playing. And so I
Mhm.
instinctively, most of the time, I'd say 99.9% of the time, the entertainers, because of the style of the ones that I've, like Brian Thompson is an example.
Right, right.
Brian
And,
Thompson was playing the saxophone, and I asked him, "Is it okay if I get in, like, you're right there?" And he's like, "Absolutely." He loves the feel of it. And so that is why I am so courageous. Sometimes I have to get over the fear of a moment. I was destined to meet Lindsay Sterling. I flew out here partly because I follow her, love her, and I'm a huge fan of Lindsay Sterling. And I had to really get out and be brave and courageous to make that happen. And where most people would say, no, 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 sit there, mind your P's and Q's. You know, you're a guest here, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no. She and I took a Polaroid together. She had me sign it so she could take it and just stuff like that. So I want
mhm.
people to get the message that yes, check in with the people. You don't want to break the barrier per se. You don't want to interfere with their performance. Yet as an entertainer, as a speaker, as someone, you love the energy of the crowd, and that's why we do it.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so
Right.
whenever they're feeding off of it, and so yes, I mentioned Vegas and I said I really want to take people on the journey. I want Carol and Jeremiah and Jody and all these people that don't maybe get to be right then present with us. I want
Mhm.
to wear a GoPro. I mean, I want us to film. I want to really be filming you during the nomination. I want people to see it really for you so that they get to feel connected. Because again, go back to Chemo Buddies for Life, the connection piece, the community piece, the fun piece, the honest piece, the integral play, all of it.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
I get on my soapbox. I get on
I
my
love it. Yep, yep,
woo.
yep. Have a little bit more coffee, right?
I need a little more coffee because, like, this is just honoring you, traveling. And I love how today you even said, let's put it out to the viewers and do kind of like a survey and say, what do they want to see from my brand? What do they want to see while I'm on the road? Because sometimes I think I know, and maybe it's better to just ask up front. Ask people, what do you want to know? What do you want to see?
Right, right. And let's see, for me to allow you. Oh my gosh,
Oh, I love that.
Jeremiah is just
Oh, wait, I
on
got to get
one,
my
but he
glasses out for
usually
sure
is.
now.
Okay, well, you got to see where this all started. Okay, so Jeremiah comes on. Okay, so us two are amazing. Okay, then, okay, so he's on. She's only available for a short period of time because, and he's been working.
He
He's
might have
been.
his
I mean, last
chance.
night he was trying to marry you off again. You know, it's like
I love
this
it.
is,
I love
and,
it. That's
and
the
you know,
thing.
okay, so 6'5" and $200 million, muscles all over. Okay, what do you think? Does that sound like
Yeah,
you?
you know what? Jeremiah loves to have fun, and that's the thing
Yeah.
that I've gotten from him. You know, you're awesome. I believe in your dreams. Also from Carol the other day. Carol's the one that told me to post about that I was not able to fit in my dress. Like I was at
Oh.
the hotel, I couldn't get
Mhm.
my dress zipped, and this is the truth. I had Spanx on. Like I don't know why people wear them to an all day event anyway, but I couldn't reach my zipper and I'd already ripped the tags, and I was like, crap, I'm not very committed, but I'm committed. I had to go out into the hallway to get someone to zip my dress. So Carol said, share that. That's the stuff people want to know.
Right. And I agree with her. Absolutely. In fact, that's what we were talking about. Like, okay, as we were kind of thinking, okay, now, Teresa, what's the next step for Teresa and Teresa's brand? And we were talking about how we've gone to some really cool things, and thank you to Mikey Adam Cohen, because he has opened up our world in so many different ways to allow us. Even going last night was because of Mikey, and on Sunday to the different musical events. And so thank you for that connection. And and the saxophone player, your, what was he, adopted son is what you guys agreed on or whatever.
Yes, yes, he's 21, and Brian Thompson is now my son, my
Yeah,
adopted
yeah,
son. People talk about leaving a legacy for their kids, and since I don't have kids, I develop and I adopt them all.
yeah. And I love that because you do. And so then after that was decided, you guys were down there by the bay and doing all this really cool stuff because that connection was definitely obvious. So as we were talking about going, even tomorrow night, we're going to go to open mic night downtown Temecula, where some of the, again, Mikey, Adam Cohen, introduced me to some of the different artists that go over there. It's a real, one of the things living in Southern California, this is one of those areas that a lot of entertainers live, and they may not want to live directly next to the studios, wink wink, for obvious reasons. They might want to live more out in the suburbs, which nowadays may be a county or two away, to finally feel like you're out in the suburbs and have a little bit of breathing room, which we do out in this area.
Oh my
And
gosh, where you live is amazing. Temecula, this area, your home, the environment, the fact that you've invited me to be a guest, like I'm honored, and I've experienced it like the locals do.
yeah, yeah.
And I think that's a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah. And so we were talking about that. We were actually talking about this very subject and how when you get out to these places, you connect. It's that whole thing that you were talking about. And you were like last night, even with some of them, you're like, okay, we got it going on. And I'm watching this. And guys, I'm used to filming. And last night I didn't do as much filming because number one, I took the night off a little bit. And number two, the internet was having issues. And so, because I started and then it kind of said, no, you're supposed to take tonight off. So, but I sat there because I'm kind of used to that and was watching. And I thought, wow, she has such a gift. Teresa has such a gift for connecting with different people. She had the little girl that was there, that her mother was having a birthday. She had her out there kind of dancing with her. And then some of the crazies that were fun and young.
And I
And,
was
and
doing my lasso
yeah,
and catching the guy, and he caught on immediately. Like we were doing this, and I go, I'm going to do the lasso catch. And he's like, and he was doing, and then we did the fish.
yeah.
Reel it in. And like he knew what I was talking about. It was crazy. Like just from that instinctual moment.
Right, right. And so when you're in that environment, in fact, I will say, guys, that she was the first one up. The music had just started, and I've been to the wind down a couple of times, a Monday night wind down, and usually it takes them to have maybe one or two glasses for many of them to get out on the floor. No, Teresa got right out there. First song, she's out there by herself, and she's starting to dance. Like, okay, let's do this. And she's like, come on, guys, let's do this, and getting the energy started. And you should have seen Monty. He's playing, he's like smiling, like, yes, this is great. Because,
Well, it was
it's
his
like no
birthday. He
time.
was playing. He was so gifted
Oh,
as a
yeah,
musician. And here's the deal: is because, and I'm going to barely touch on this. Like I've had a problem with alcohol in the past. It used to take me that to get courageous. Now I want people to see you don't necessarily have to have anything to
right,
just be yourself. Feel it, feel it, feel it, and go with it and enjoy it and connect with people. People love it.
right.
They love the feeling of that connection.
They
And so if
do.
I get silly and stupid first, then it gives them permission to start dancing too. That's what
And
I've
they,
learned.
and they did. They did. They started going out there with her, so I was observing all of this, and I'm like, okay. And we've been talking about branding and focus and where are you going, and and so I asked a few questions today of Teresa, and I'm like, okay, let's narrow this down a bit.
Yes,
Let's
yes.
work on this. And where we started going, it started getting pretty exciting. And that smile that you see right there is what I started seeing as we were going. She's just the stars. It just started getting brighter and brighter and bigger and bigger. Because I asked a few questions, kind of like where she, kind of not quite where she is, but kind of going down that road. And she's like, "Oh yeah, that's okay." And then we start getting to where we were going, and then the smile just started showing up. What was it that really created that smile? Do you want to share?
Oh my gosh. Well, I think the fact that one, you were willing to really dive in and ask the questions, and two, like kind of like I was getting to choose, or how can we mold those two? And I think that you were targeting my creative side, and it was kind of like you were like, it's okay to be creative and crazy, and maybe you want to think about some industries that can be like collapse, not collapse, but I don't know, you just started throwing out the art community and the travel and on the road community, and you started talking about what about these sports teams that they're like diehards and they might want somebody to come host their event, and what about like even like NASCAR people, they like camp out for days. I mean, I could really capture some fun things and bring the experience to a variety of people. That's the smile, and there's probably more. What else? What was it that you thought brought the smile?
When Because you actually had created 4 different areas that you thought that you were interested in possibly looking at, and it was like, okay, how are these 4 going to ever like come together where it would be niched down enough? Because let's backstory this a bit. Last night you actually mentioned something that someone that you had met over the weekend came from hosting WWE.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, "Oh, hadn't even thought of that. Hadn't even thought about that." But it was, "Oh, but I've got a very dear friend, Leilani, and she's in that world because of family." And then we started talking about how they have such a following and people that just absolutely, I mean, you're a diehard if you really love the WWE, or yes, like sports or whatever it may be. And so we were thinking, okay, she wants to get out there, she wants to get in front of people. And then it was like, I had not even thought about hosting or being an MC for something like WWE. So we started opening up our mind. And then it was, okay, so these 4 different things. And then it was, okay, looking at what you've been doing over the last few days, what it is that you want to impact and how you want to make a difference, and how can that all become joined together. And we started like looking at things that it could actually happen, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, and I was saying, I love to travel. I love like when I saw Lillian Garcia, I believe is her name, and then Lynn Rose.
Yeah.
Those two, they have a variety. They have a very mixed personality style, but they were the two that have emceed recently. And Lillian is the one. She filmed her music video at Powerful You, and she used to host WWE. And I was like, that's a very interesting mix.
Yeah.
I have a love for the fitness community, the fitness world, and then I just have like the creative element and connecting with people. And I got this clear today with you, is I used to think, man, to want to be on a stage or to entertain, for me, I was like, gosh, again, it's my Southern roots. It's like, that's kind of selfish, or that's kind of self-centered. I mean, you got to be the lady and be prim and proper. I'm like, no, I want to get messy. Like, I want to get with people. Like, I want to like sweat, have fun, connect, be juicy. Yeah. Exactly. And so it just opened up some thoughts, and I've been so conflicted on when you go to create a brand. It's almost, and the ladies will appreciate this, it's kind of like when you're trying on clothes and you're just trying on some different things. And people that know my style, and you, Tamara, in particular, I like to mix styles.
Yeah.
So it's like trying on clothes. And yes, I got to get to the point. They say niches and the riches, niche down, all those things. I understand that. I also understand, like we were talking, thinking of the true, outside the lines, outside the true elements of it's got to be the prim and proper Southern girl. I love my roots. I love that I'm from the South. I love all that. Yet I also like these other parts of who I am too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. I get all excited. I'm excited.
Well, I'm excited for you. And so as we kind of start wrapping this up, and number one, I want to thank you for going live with me and announcing that yes, Chemo Buddies for Life is going to start having a coffee club. Woohoo! And so be looking for this, and we'll be putting together images and these cups are just too much fun, and we're just having a blast with it all. And just sometimes you just have to, like, because we've been going and going and going and being involved with the Next Impactor and being involved going here and going there. Sometimes it's just good to just say, okay, we're just going to do nothing but laugh,
Well,
and then
that's what
kind of
people like. They see the glamour side sometimes, and they don't see sometimes that. Dang, I'm exhausted.
yeah.
So that
Yeah.
I get it, and that's why we're bringing some fun into it. So
Exactly.
I'm appreciative of that.
Well, thank you, and then and I just want to say, that I'm grateful that you wanted to go live and be so real about when because basically already that you are about conscious conversations. That's there's no question there. Whatever you end up, if however this ends up finally going for you, that's a big huge part of it. There's certain things that they're already intrinsically in what
I know
will
I
be.
said we'll get our book club book out. I'm a nerd.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
a nerd too.
And but we get, that's one of the reasons we get along so well, because yes, I am a self-proclaimed nerd. Well, not even self-proclaimed, others will proclaim it for me, because I am and always have been, and I'm proud of it, because there's nothing wrong with that. So it was a matter of how do you connect all of it where it is cohesive. And the fact that you said, hey, I'm willing to share this because I'm open to opinion, I'm open to hearing, and I'm open to letting people know that as you're refining and defining all of this to go forward to that next level, that you need to, you take time and you breathe and you say, okay, this is working, this may not be working so much, this is what I know I really like, this is what I know I don't want to do anymore of that, this isn't working for me. And you're being very open and real to say, okay, yes, I am defining now and bringing it together and am excited about it. So as you're doing that, you had mentioned, because we're going to, again, Wild Wild West, we're going to go Wednesday, Wild Wild West Wednesday, we're going to go over to open mic night, and you are going to start investigating to see if people are interested in possibly a certain type of style of you going out there, right?
Yes. Well, and that's one thing, they say survey says, right?
Yeah.
Ask your audience, the people that do comment, the people that do like, the people that do follow, that really are invested in you as a person. What do they want to see? What do they like? What do they feel comfortable with? Where am I resonating? And it's like, what are the questions that people ask me is a lot of times the problem that they know that I might can solve, or that I can at least assist in them solving it. And I think that asking it, being open to ask, hey guys, what do you want? What is a survey? What I'm going to pose those questions. And I've been reluctant because people think whatever they think, whatever. That's not the point. I'm being real about it.
Right.
That I've tried on some things, and I want people to know you have permission to ask people. And maybe there may be some people that tell me something that I'm like, yeah, great idea. Thanks for contributing. But no.
Yeah. And that's okay, because you're open to asking.
Yes.
And for those people that are sincerely going to answer, let's just keep it real there. Okay.
Yeah.
Keep it real, keep it in the best interest, and what you would like to see, what works for you, because Teresa she's had a couple of different shows that she's done, and she has had amazing interviews with some top people, and been able to grab so many amazing nuggets. And I know that many of you are like me, where you're fans. I'm a fan, and I'm also a friend, and I want her happy, and I want her feeling fulfilled, and that her where she's going in the future feels driven in the right direction. And that's where you're at right now, and I'm grateful to be a part of this with you on this journey. You're getting a lot of love right now, and I appreciate it. So and in fact, right, love it when you come out of your comfort zone. Yes, that's coming from Carol, a
Yes.
gift, and
Carol.
okay, I missed this one. Sorry, Jeremiah. He liked
Oh, he
he
put
liked the coffee cup.
cup.
Yeah, okay,
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
Jeremiah.
So yes, we have the fun, the coffee humor for the coffee club for Chemo Buddies for Life. It's like, okay, gotta have some fun. All right. So as we close today's show, thank you for the love and the thumbs up, everyone. I appreciate it so very much. What is the last thing you would like to leave for everyone that possibly you can, like, I know you've already said comment. Okay. I have to say, it's Dr. E.J. Johnson. And you know what? You're one of our favorite people. Yes, we absolutely love you. In fact, okay, we implemented some of your, drilling down. In fact, your name was brought up when we were doing it. Because Dr. E.J. Johnson, for those that don't know, has the hot seat with Monique Johnson. They are partners, business partners, and we got to go together down to LA. And for those that don't know, you need to figure this out because it's amazing. He's absolutely making a difference for so many corporations and business leaders and thought leaders, and because he knows how to get it drilled down, and not only that, how to then take a blueprint and make it, and so that you can make that happen. So thank you, Dr. E.J. Johnson, one of my favorites. Love you. And so as we end, and I know that you had mentioned for them to comment on and if you would, put your links, and so they can get a hold of you from my page to yours if they don't know, and they could check things out. Now, what else is it that you would like to leave people with, either an ask or a give?
What I would say is that when you have people that you trust instinctually, and it's kind of the stop, drop, and roll. Stop for a moment, drop down to your heart center, and then get into communication. Get into communication with people. So that's kind of the roll part of it. Literally, don't suffer. Life just, we don't have to suffer nearly the way that the world makes it seem. And Carol, thank you for putting Teresa360.com is a digital handshake. It has my text info, my contact info. It had Teresa360.com is my digital platform. It has my show notes. It has everything right there. And the first page that pops up is the vote page. And then right after that, all my digital information. So I'm open. I may not take every idea, yet I'm open to listening. So thank you. And thank you, Tamara.
Well, thank you, Teresa. Thank you for going with me to Vegas, baby. We're going to go on a road trip. And yes, we may just even be interviewing service heroes and all sorts of things. And then Saturday night is the event. And it will be interesting to see. I'm just grateful that, and I'm still very humble that, Unsung Heroes Award, being nominated for something like that. It's still, it's pretty interesting. And yes, we're going to have some fun. And yes, I do have a GoPro that we're going to bring. And it's actually my dad's. He's let me borrow it. And it even has a head
That's the
strap.
thing. You're going to see me wear the same clothes probably a lot this week, and that's okay. No judgment. Remember, no judgment.
No
Because
judgment
I
allowed.
just decided to stay. I changed
Yes.
my flight. It's cost effective, and I get to support Tamara. Who would say yes? Just say yes sometimes to those things.
And I appreciate you for doing that and coming with me and being my date. It's going to be so much fun. And so as we close this fun time of 365 days of awesome, celebrate success through service, I'm going to take these down and bring these up and say, you know what, 1 cup of coffee a day. And yes, look at how big these are. Okay, I'm gonna put this out here. It's like, okay, it's all relative, is what it's all about. Because you can really spin off in even this, because 1 cup of coffee a day, someone can see that. If they're told 1 cup of coffee, what does that mean? It means whatever your mind wants it to mean. If you see it as a small cup, and you could even the little teacup that's up there behind you, Teresa, and there's one right there. You can see it as a small cup, like that one behind Teresa, or you could see it as a big cup. It's a matter of the way you choose to see it.
All perspective.
And and also, when you're dealing with brands, when you're dealing with nonprofits. Oh, and I cannot wait to tell you, Dr. EJ Johnson, what's happening with things like that. Because, he challenged me, and I can't wait to tell him how I'm doing on the challenge. Hi, Gigi. It's great to see you. And yes, we're coming to your neck of the woods here soon. So excited about it. And thank you for all of your support with our nonprofit Chemo Buddies for Life and our senior ambassador, Stella. I just appreciate you very much, Gigi. So as we go, we will be filming. And like I was saying, we do, I'm going to see. I think I might even have the apparatus to put it on your head. So if she does, I will then film her filming whatever, and so that we can share, because you know what? Life is too short not to have some humor, hope, and heart. And that's part of our message today as we end day number 255, is never forget to have your daily dose of laughter. Never, ever, ever. Okay, let's get rid of the N-O word. Okay, always remember, okay, reframe. Always remember to have humor, hope, and heart in your day. Share it with those people that mean so much to you. And remember to share it with yourself, because in doing so, you're going to help yourself to be healthier and happier. And you never know who is watching, because it's pretty crazy that many are. And you just may absolutely help to change someone else's point of view and actually help them through their day and their life. Because isn't that what it's all about? Serving each other and being there for each other and being that service hero we have inside of us to share. And I appreciate sharing with you always, Teresa.
Love you, Tamara.
I love you too. Okay, guys, thank you for coming and playing with us, and be watching for Coffee Club. It's coming soon. Bye, everyone.